I'm Dr. Jesse Cease, for those of you guys who don't know me. I'm with Mark Van Buren. Mark's a renowned author on meditation, mindfulness, and you're just starting the mindfulness, the mental hygiene movement.
Correct,
right?
correct.
So Mark does a lot of work in our office. He teaches yoga, and we've got a lot of things coming to us soon on the mental hygiene front. So on just meditation, mindfulness, mental wellness type deal. So I don't know if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Mark Van Buren. I'm an author. I've been studying and practicing meditation for well over 10 years now. Spent a lot of time with the practice. I've gone on dozens of retreats from 1 to 10 days where you don't talk, silent retreats, no
That'd be
reading.
tough for me, Mark.
Yeah, no reading, no reading,
I love to talk.
No writing, no talking. Really, you're just kind of stuck with your body and mind, and you really can go deep within yourself. And I've seen the power of this practice, and more importantly, the power of consistent practice and what that can do to your life. And I just really want to share that with as many people as possible. And over the past 10 years, I've really just been promoting it and sharing this practice because I know what it can do, and I want other people to know for themselves. I don't want anyone to just believe me. I want them to put in the work and see how it can transform their lives. So that's why
a lot of things come from hard work. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit of my story about how I met Mark. So Mark was actually introduced to me through a patient of mine. I won't say the name, but I'm sure she'll see this.
Yeah.
So I was looking to bring yoga into my practice. So Mark and I went to Nellie's right here in Waldwick. We scarfed down a buffalo chicken pizza, and we talked about, the meditation and mindfulness component to this. I was just looking for a yoga practitioner, right? Yeah. But Mark really blew me away with this, and he was telling me he had written a book on the subject, and it happened to just fall in line that Sunday. So we met on a Friday. That Sunday, you were hosting a book release party at your office. Yeah. So my wife and I went, and I went. I'll be upfront with you. I went more for like a business thing, right? Like just to kind of show my face and build a professional relationship. I didn't know much about mindfulness and meditation. The idea just from your conversation definitely spiked my interest. And just going to your seminar or book release party, we'll call it seminar, sounds boring. Well, it definitely changed my life, and it changed my outlook. I read your book, I think, in that following weekend. So I went Sunday. I think I had it finished by Friday. Very well written book.
Which is $1.99 right now.
$1.99 on the Kindle
and
plug.
Ebook.
What's it called, Mark?
A Fool's Guide to Actual Happiness.
So A Fool's Guide to Actual Happiness on the Kindle, $1.99. Shameless plug coming up. And my favorite title, though, is the title of your first book.
Yeah. So if you got kids around, you can mute it. But the original title of A Fool's Guide to Actual Happiness was actually called "Be Your Shitty Self." So, really kind of embodies the message of like, be who you are with all your imperfections. And you don't need to fix yourself. We can just learn to be at ease with ourselves. And, of course, not indulge in the things that cause us suffering, but we don't have to come from this self-aggression, this self-hatred. We can come from a place of acceptance and kind of have this lively engagement with ourselves rather than, I got to fix this, I got to get rid of this. So I really, I got some twisted humor too. So Be Your Shitty Self kind of just fit me. But of course, my publisher publishes books by the Dalai Lama and other, pretty well-known Buddhist authors. So we kind of agreed that maybe we could change the title. So
I really like that title because it kind of, it drives home a message. So I think we're all kind of striving for perfection. Like we're all looking to improve our self-image. And you're kind of challenging that point of view. So like if you look at social media nowadays or just the platforms that everyone has to kind of, show off what they have, like you're embracing, hey, like don't worry about all that stuff. Just literally be your shitty self. Like embrace the shitty. And I think it really resonated with me. Maybe because it's the Jersey in me. It's Mark, your Instagram fell there.
Oh no.
Save those people there.
Sorry.
There we go.
Save that.
So just that word, like, I don't know, maybe it's the inner Jersey in me, like, be your shitty self, like really resonated with me. And it kind of, just motivated me to kind of change my outlook on meditation and mindfulness. Because I think like chiropractic, like meditation and mindfulness has like a hindered point of view in the public, right? Like
I agree.
Yeah. And I think what resonated on me, to keep cutting you off, but the thing that resonated with me, Mark, is like, you know, I don't mean to offend anybody, but you know, you think of meditation, mindfulness, you think of like some, to you steal your term, like some airy fairy like lady in her late 70s, like, you know, wearing kale pajamas and, you know, who knows, right? So that's what, like, I think you get a call now. You're popular, man. But, you know, I just think that, like, you being a guy who has struggles just like me, I was able to relate to what you were saying. You know, Mark works a full-time job on top of this, and just the idea of, you know, it's a practice, and practice is something that you're going to always be improving on. You know, there's no end goal. It's just to continue to
and practice is always now.
Yeah.
And that's part of the be your shitty self kind of original message is you are who you are now. That's all you have to work with.
Yeah.
There, you know, you could think about the future you that's going to be better, that's not going to have anxiety, yada, yada, yada. But that's some imagined future. That's not the reality. Reality is right here, right now, and
in this room with us, 2 computers, 2 phones, Instagram, Facebook Live is right now.
Now.
So the reason we're doing this today is we're doing a kickoff event right here in our office, Monday, February 18th, President's Day, this Monday at 7:30 p.m. The event is totally free.
Yep.
So if you're in the area, feel free to stop on by. You know, we'd love to have you. And the reason I'm bringing this in, so I'm a chiropractor. What does meditation and mindfulness have to do with all of this? I don't think people understand the true physiological effects that stress has on their health.
Yeah.
So I use the analogy to my patients all the time. So when we're stressed, whether it be a physical stressor, an emotional stressor, a mental stressor, your body can't differentiate between the two. The stress response is a very natural response, and it's aimed at, always use this analogy, stress is designed to like get you out of a shitty situation, to continue to use that term. So like if I was to open this door and we're done and I was to see a tiger there, I'd be stressed, right? Because I might be eating for lunch. So what's going to happen? My blood's going to start, my heart's going to start racing, all the blood's going to pump to my extremities, my eyes are going to widen, right? Then we're going to run away from that tiger. What happens when we stop with that tiger, Mark? When we finally get away from that tiger, what do? We sit down.
Yeah, rest.
Right? Relief. It's supposed to be meant for short-term bursts, and for some reason, you know, our society is so stuck in this constant stressed out state. So we don't get that moment on the tree post-tiger chase to unwind. Yeah. People are going through that tiger race for months, years, decades at a time, Mark, and it impacts their cardiovascular health, their overall general health. So I think mental health is so important, especially in today's day and age.
Yeah, and you know, mental health is one of those things that people kind of dismiss. You know, it's like we'll do anything to get our bodies in shape. We'll eat right. We'll do all kinds of crazy exercises. We'll do running. We'll do jumping jacks. We'll do all kinds of crazy things to make our bodies look good. But we never really want to do anything to make ourselves feel fulfilled and at peace. And if we are trying, we're trying in the wrong realm. You know, we're trying to find permanent happiness in a world that's always changing. You know, so you can get temporary bursts of satisfaction or happiness, but ultimately everything changes. Everything is impermanent. And
consistency builds endurance.
Consistency builds endurance. Yeah,
I like that. I like that a lot.
So if we can learn to just see life as it is, right, and understand life, then we can get in line with it, and we can find what we're looking for. We can have a content mind and still do all the things we want to do. It's not that you're just content and you sit there and that's it. You just take in life and you don't move and do anything. Meditation is every moment, whether you're sitting, walking, lying down, whether you're in traffic, whether you're with your friends, whether you're at the bedside of a dying family member. It's all the time, and it really is a way to connect deeply with yourself, to give you that break. So on the physiological level, you get all these great benefits. But for me, I kind of present it as a life practice to help you with this really difficult life. You know, we all have a difficult life. It's not just one person or, you know, just me. I know when we're suffering, we feel like we're alone and I'm the only anxious person. I'm the only depressed person. I'm the only angry person. But the truth is, we all struggle. Our lives are just full of struggles. And if we can have a practice that can help us deal with our thoughts, help us deal with our emotions, help us deal with the difficulties at work and at life and at home, then then we can really begin to feel at home with ourselves and at home in our lives. And I think that is really, what this practice is all about.
And from the layman's perspective on that, Mark, it just makes sense. When you said, you used this analogy when we were doing yoga the other day, like, if you want abs, you understand that you're going to have to go to the gym. If you want, or biceps or abs, you're going to have to go to the gym. You're going to work. It's not going to happen right away. Yeah. You're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to show up every day. Same thing goes for mental wellness, right? So if you want to be mentally well, you don't just do 1 5-minute sitting of meditation and it works for a couple minutes and you're like, oh man, that was a crack of shit or whatever, you have to build that, you build that endurance. You might be able to meditate a little bit longer. I don't know the exact terminology, but it's a message that resonated for me from like a layman's perspective and, just like the everyday purpose,
Yeah, and this is going right perfectly into the mental hygiene movement that we're trying to promote. And we're really promoting it for you guys out there to stay, one, connected, not only with me, but with a community of people that are trying to wake up, that are trying to use this practice to bring some kindness into the world, to bring, some peace into the world, to reduce the suffering in the world. But also to stay consistent with your practice, because what has been happening is I do workshops, I do private work, I do lectures, and everybody loves what I say. And they love the meditation when I'm in front of them. But then when they go off to their house, it doesn't happen
That
again.
was the biggest struggle I had, Mark. So I left your seminar that Sunday after we scarfed our buffalo chicken pizza down. I left your seminar and I felt like new is the only word I could think of. Like I felt new and I felt like I had a new outlook. I felt like release, like a mental release. I just felt good. And I was anxious to, not anxious is the wrong word, but I was excited to kind of keep going with it. So I read your book. I did like a little bit of the Headspace app. But then like, just the same excuse that people have for working out even, like time, right? I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to do crunches, right? So I think what you're doing on YouTube is like transformational. Like I think if you can build a guided meditation, what Mark's giving this away for free on YouTube, go check out his YouTube channel, like meditation for, your drive to work or your commute into the city. Like those
are still recorded.
Exactly. Recorded. Yeah.
Recording that.
Yeah. So they're guided meditation and so you can't use that excuse of time, right? Because like, I don't have time anymore. When you're sitting on the bus to the city with your headphones in anyway, listening to Drake, complaining about his problems, take 3 minutes out of that ride to the city to be mindful. That's all it takes. Honestly, that's all it takes.
Really, yeah. And at the very minimum, I always tell my clients and people I work with to just sit up in bed, take your hand to your heart, and take 3 conscious breaths. That can be enough to transform your whole day.
Yeah.
And really the movement is to help you guys stay consistent. So I created forms. I have a meditation log, so it's weekly, and you can create a little binder, and then you just write down how much you meditated every day, the date.
It's a way to hold yourself accountable.
Exactly, and I can help you guys with that. I can hold you accountable. You can send it to me weekly or whatnot. And then I also have a commitment sheet. So these are all on the Mental Hygiene Movement Facebook group. So if you go to facebook.com/groups/Mental Hygiene Movement, you can try to join, and you'll make your commitment. And there is a commitment form that you can print out, that you can sign, and that you can hang up. Because this way you see it and you say, all right, I made this commitment, I signed it, I'm going to do it.
It's accountability at its finest.
Yeah, so accountability is important, inspiration is important, which is why we're staying connected. We're doing things like this. We're going to be doing free stuff on Thursday nights at his office as well.
Right here, yep.
And now, as he had mentioned, I'm doing these, mindful meditations for everyday life. So I did a 3-minute and a 5-minute. That's up right now. So, there's no excuse, because all you have to do is listen to that video once a day, and you made your commitment. And I'm going to, as he had mentioned, I'm going to make videos for commuters. I'm going to make like a bathroom break one where you can go to the bathroom at work and just listen for 2 minutes, where no one will bother you. I'll do shower. I think you wanted a shower.
Shower one's a good idea too, because I'm just trying to think of when I passively take in like content, right? So like when I'm driving in the car, I'm either listening to like Gary Vee or, you know, some sort of chiropractic podcast. Like I'm passively listening. So I think if I could, you know, transform that time into, you know, 3 or 5, 10 minutes of meditation, and, you know, it's just going to make me healthier. And
yeah, and then really what meditation comes down to is how are you relating to this moment? You know, that's it. How am I relating to my thoughts in this moment? How am I relating to my reactions? How am I relating to the world, you know, just in general? And are we coming from a place of reactivity and unconsciousness, or are we meeting the world with warmth and friendliness and spaciousness? You know, so our sitting meditation practice is so important to do daily because you're literally cultivating exactly the way you're trying to live in daily life. You know, being able to see thoughts and let them go. That's huge. If you can understand how to do that in daily life, then you won't get on that thought train that brings you to the brick wall, that brings you to that dark place. You can just realize that this is a thought and I can let it go, and you can come back to reality. You know, we spend so much time in our...
I'm going to cut you off quick because I have a good thought. And I think it makes sense what you're saying, but I think the problem is that, especially the younger generation, just doesn't know how to do that.
Sure. You
know what I'm saying? So, like, some of this stuff that you're doing, it's going to be the first time. Like, I remember the time before iPhones or social media or, you know, Blackberries, like where I had to, you know, sit in a doctor's office and like either sit there and like just think or like pick up a magazine and read. You know what I mean? I remember a time where I didn't have a computer in my pocket. You know, like now I see everybody in my waiting room. If they're waiting 10 minutes for me, which I'm sorry if you are, but but they've already been on 76 different websites and tweeted 24 times and liked 17,000 other pictures. Like they don't take that time to just, you know, be there. There are 70 different other places, right? Yeah. This one's page, this one's page, this one's page. So just that introduction to this younger generation, like, hey, what is mindfulness? What is being here? And not worrying about what, you know, Sally posted about her cat. You know what I mean? Like, pay attention to you. Prioritize yourself. And
that's what makes this practice so difficult, especially for the younger generation, because they're so used to constant entertainment. Yes, so when they go to sit down, it's an addiction. Yeah. You know, so it's hard to not look at your phone. It's hard to not, you know, want to check Facebook, or because there's an addictive quality to it, and the mind really seeks constant entertainment. So but once you get kind of beyond this constant entertainment mind, this craving mind, then you realize that there's this spaciousness underneath. There's this very just comforting, peaceful place that's already there, that doesn't need entertainment, that doesn't need life to be the way that we want it to be, that you can be at ease with life no matter what. And it's already part of you. It's not like you need to do 10 years and do all these retreats like I was saying that I did. Of course, they help you, you know, reconnect over and over with that.
You do that if you want to write a book.
Yeah, you do that if you want to write a book.
But if you just want to be mentally well, it just takes a small commitment. We got a couple questions, it looks like. Let me kind of pop close. I don't need to get all up in your grill. Yes, meditating is hard. Yeah, Dr. Savello out in St. Louis, he's the man. Meditating is hard, but it's hard because we're addicted.
Well, it's hard because we have an idea of what it's supposed to be like. Yeah. So we have to drop our expectations. You know, if we expect to have, or we're supposed to have no thoughts, right? That's a big expectation. That's not true. But if we think, oh, meditation, we're not supposed to have any thoughts. You sit down, your mind is full of thoughts. You're like, well, I'm bad at this, and this doesn't work for me. I tried it once, and that's it. And that's one of the biggest obstacles.
The analogy I used, Mark, or you used, I think, to me, I heard it somewhere. It might have been you. Like, you know, being present and being a business owner and, you know, a new father and all that is stressful, right? So, you know, there's a lot of stuff coming at me. I think it was you who used this analogy. It's like being on the freeway, like sitting on the sidewalk next to the freeway, and like just allowing yourself to just watch the cars go by. And the cars are your thoughts. Yeah. That was a good analogy.
And normally we're in the street.
Normally you're trying to chase those cars, right? Oh, crap, that's a thought. I need to go chase that car. You're never going to catch it. And then 17 other thoughts. So when you allow yourself to just sit back and just like embrace that, okay, this thought is going to come and go. Yeah. Like you said, how long was it there for? Yeah. Everything is impermanent. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and if there's one thing that you could take with you and just contemplate that for the rest of your life is everything that arises ceases. So especially for for our suffering and the difficult things in our life. If it's a state of mind, it has to end. If it's an emotion, it has to end. If it's a thought, it has to end. So the trick is you don't have to do anything with these things. You don't have to suppress them. You don't have to act them out. You can just learn to allow them to come and go naturally, which is what they do. And I think we have a question here.
Go ahead. If you have questions, go ahead and write them in the comments. We'll get to them. We'll try our best.
When the committee goes off in my head, sometimes it's so hard to stop it. It's Aunt Didi out there.
Aunt Didi, yeah. So the committee, we've all got a round table.
It's just not taking the committees as seriously as we do. It's realizing the committee is just random things that are popping up.
So I wrote something down here, and I think it's going to build off of Aunt Didi's kind of point. And Aunt Didi can yell at me if I'm wrong. But like at some point, you'll have to choose between yourself and everybody else. You got what I'm saying? Like, so, and it's a very difficult thing because everybody else sometimes is your spouse and your kids and your parents, right? Like everyone has expectations of you, and you're constantly trying to fulfill these expectations. At some point, you need to just be like, dude, I'm gonna just prioritize myself, make myself better, and just by organic growth, all those people around me that I just spoke about, and people who truly love me and support me are going to be happier and be healthier and have a better relationship for me because I took that time to prioritize myself. And it's going to expose all the chameleons. Well, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just the people around you. So that committee in your head, who are they, Aunt Didi? Are they your boss or your social media following? Like, or is it the people who care for you? And if you take that time to prioritize Aunt Didi, then you know what? Your Uncle Didi, if you will appreciate that. It might, it might be met with a little bit of flack, but take that time, prioritize yourself, and it's going to grow naturally.
And you know what? The only person we're spending the rest of our lives with truly is ourselves. And if you can't be at home with yourselves, then you're going to suffer everywhere you go. It's like stepping in dog crap, and then everywhere you go smells like crap, and you're wondering, and why is everywhere that I go smell so crappy? Well, because you got shit on your shoe. So clean your shoe, and then
I feel like our best contact comes when we're talking about shit.
I don't know why. Bye, Stephanie.
Take care, Stephanie. Anybody else?
Any questions?
Questions, pop them in. I think that's so important, and especially because, like, social media is a big part of a lot of people's lives, and some people feel like social media is a negative thing, right? But it's really not. It's really not. Exactly. So it's a beautiful thing. It allows you to expose who you are truly, not what you want everyone else to be. If you spend all your time exposing what you want, what everyone else wants you to be, you're going to drive yourself to the ground, and you're going to be very pessimistic. Spread that positive energy, and just keep going, man.
Yeah, and I do want to mention too, because I know I'm on Instagram, and not a lot of my followers necessarily live in this area. If you want to be part of Monday night, if you want to be part of the free Thursday evening things we're going to do every week, you can tune in, because we're going to do this crazy setup we got going on.
So that goes for any of my followers too. So make sure that if you're interested in this and you're kind of just seeing what we're all about, number one, go check out Mark's YouTube 3-minute video, 3 minutes of your day, just to kind of see if it's for you, and I'm willing to bet that it is. And the number two thing you can do is go follow his mental hygiene movement on Facebook, and that's going to be where we're going to post all of our stuff too. We'll post a lot, but he's going to really keep up with it and keep you guys in the loop in that end.
Yeah.
So Mark, let's relate this back to, I hate to keep picking on Aunt Didi. She's probably a wonderful lady, but she left herself out there. So somebody like Aunt Didi, Aunt Didi's friend Sally, who's super stressed out, and they're just live stressed out. What's the first thing besides consumer content? What's the first thing that Aunt Didi's friend Sally can do to improve her life today? Get a little bit better today, because you're not going to get 100% better. You're not going to have abs tomorrow.
So, I think the first thing people can start to do is just pause throughout the day. So just simple thing, like, especially if you're someone who gets in your head a lot, just stop and listen to the sounds. I know it sounds so silly and so simple, but if you really pause and just listen to the sounds around you, you're immediately grounded in the reality.
Immediately, what just popped into my head, I'm not even kidding, I hate to keep going back to this, was your book release party. I remember still when you said that, you're like, just pay attention to the sounds, don't let them irritate you. I could still hear that, the bird chirping, like outside of your window. You know what I mean? And it probably sounds so crazy to you guys, but like I literally can place that sound in my head. Like I probably heard 70,000 birds chirp today, and I didn't even hear one of them. but I still remember that exact noise of that, just being present, fully present in that moment. And that's probably maybe the last time that I've been that present. But you know, like just that feeling. Like I said, I left there like a new person almost.
Sure. Yeah, and you know, we are new people every moment, and we don't realize that. We're like a river. We're flowing. And it's deep. We get deep with this stuff. But you know, just pausing, taking 3 conscious breaths, going to my Facebook site and doing the 3-minute meditation once or twice a day, doing the 5-minute. Everyone's waving.
Hey,
5-minute meditation. You know, printing out the commitment form, printing out the log. There's so much that we can do, and you have to stay inspired. As simple as meditation is, sit down, shut up, and just watch yourself breathe. It's so difficult, and it's only difficult, like I said, 1, because we have the expectations, but 2, because we have the habitual tendency of engaging with every thought that arises in our mind, rather
like
than
that highway.
Just,
you're trying to chase the cars instead of just letting them pass by.
You get hit by the cars. You're chasing the cars.
You're exhausted at the end of the day.
Yeah,
you can't pour from an empty cup. You got to take care of yourself first. I tell that to all my patients, whether it be physical health, emotional health, mental health, whatever it be. You can't pour from an empty cup. You have to protect your cup.
And we can only control ourselves.
Yeah. Can't control your surroundings.
Yeah. So
you can control how you adapt to your surroundings.
Yeah. So we can work on us.
And all of my gym people, or everybody, when you want to get back into shape, right, you go find a personal trainer, right? And they're going to hold you accountable. Mark is your mental health personal trainer, and he's doing it for free in our office every Thursday with a kickoff this Monday. So if you're not taking advantage of that and you're feeling a lot of very stressed out, you know, you're not taking advantage of that. You're discounting yourself because you're getting it for free. I'm telling you right now, this man's a genius. This won't be free forever. So jump on this now. There's my shameless plug.
Yeah. All right. Well,
let's close it down.
I think we should close it down.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. I'm going to post the links for Mark's Facebook page, his 3-minute guided meditation, and his YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. And I think that's really it. Keep your eyes peeled. Oh, no, that's not it. Most importantly, get here Monday. We're gonna 7:30 p.m. Monday on President's Day. Everyone's off of school, so there's no reason not to come. 7:30 p.m. It's free. Get your butts here, and let's do it.
And we'd rather see you here. I mean, if you don't live in the area, really can't come, you can tune in. You can watch it the next day. But there's something really special about having you in person.
Thank you, Carol. Thanks for the comment. I appreciate it. You did a good job.
So we'll see you on Monday night, hopefully in person. If not, on the interwebs.
On the interwebs.
Thank you and good night.